Welcome back to What She Said Sports, everybody. Sorry if I am tardy. We were over here discussing the Willie Lynch letter. So we're going to be talking about that today. Shout out to Faithful Believer, I think, who's mentioned it to me following the last podcast after dinner. I went and looked into it, and it has merit. It has merit, right? First and foremost, Shadur Sanders is what? Shadur is preparing to face off in another game where he starts. But again, with somebody he match up with at Colorado. So Caleb Williams was asked about the matchup, and Shadur Sanders, just talked about where he is. One of the things I've noticed about the media is they seem either hell-bent on getting Shadur to either try to incriminate himself, basically, or criticize Kevin Stefanski. And when they're not doing that, they're trying to get him to make some type of forecast or get him to try to see if he's buying into the media hype on whether he's leaving or whether he's staying. Shadur said, I take this from week to week, right? He not looking into that. He did an exclusive interview where he was basically saying, when the commentator was telling him about how well he did, setting records that nobody else has set, just him and Joe Burrow, and the guy was congratulating him. He was saying he never thought he would hear that because a few months ago, the way he was being treated, he never thought he would hear it. So Shadur Sanders in his interviews is corporate pushing back. Excellent job. Excellent job. So much so that it seems that the media that works, in the Browns orbit and national media believe that Stefanski is going to get fired and Shadur is going to be there. Now, if you listen to Rizzo, he's going back and forth with, his fans and telling them, why he believes in Shadur, that he believes Shadur is better than Gable. And he said that from day one. So I believe him on that point. Then you have the 92.3 people. They in the building, but on different sides of the fence, right? You have the Ken guy who was positive about Shadur until he started disparaging the fan base, the Shadurians, the fan base, Shadur Sanders fans. Now, he's talking about how Kevin Stefanski, probably will be gone and no other coach will want the job because of the Shadur situation. I don't know what the hell the Shadur situation is, but I know Kevin Stefanski made some absolutely horrible decisions, and not just this year. He has only had 2 winning seasons out of 5 years. Why should he get another opportunity? And why should Shadur be blamed for the Shadur Sanders situation? Why should the Shadurians be blamed for Kevin Stefanski's poor decision-making ability? If you notice, a lot of the media are like-minded like Kevin Stefanski. It's the same people who tried to tear down Shadur. And guess what those same people are doing? Positioning Dante Moore, who went to Oregon, to go number 2 in the draft, where Shadur was supposed to go. But this time to the Raiders, where Shadur was expected to go. And I said, here we go. Here we go. The same thing over and over. They just going to talk Dante Moore like they talk Shadur. The only difference is Dante Moore went to Oregon. Let's see if he gets that protection like Dylan did from Dan Lanning. Dante Moore right now is projected to be number 2 overall to the Raiders, where you saw Geno Smith, where they also have Kenny Pickett. Would they need another quarterback had they drafted Shadur? So every team that passed on Shadur is up to pick again, right? Some got a quarterback like the Saints, but they're like, is Tyler Shaw good enough to bypass on Dante Moore? It's funny how Mendoza is safe, and Dante Moore is now the hot potato. And if Cleveland jumps up from number 5 or maybe number 4, depending on how these games go that they're trying to lose, could Dante Moore end up in Cleveland and be the 3rd black quarterback, the 3rd brown quarterback, black and brown, collected like an infinity stone, and he's the next one for their career to destroy, and he's over there with Shadur, he's over there with Deshaun. They have absolutely no intention of letting Deshaun play football, and you know this because they talking about everything but Deshaun. All they are wanting to say about Deshaun this year, we can't move him. What they said about Deshaun last year, we took a big swing and missed. Both of those things worked against Shadur. So Dante Moore, as long as you know what it is, brother, as long as you know what it is, because see, we all took a lesson, a tutorial, and what the hell the NFL draft is not about talent. It's about positioning, right? It's about positioning Black talent so they don't become 17 to 32. It's also about selecting Black talent to live out their lives in the same way they talked about Black people in the Willie Lynch letter. Now let's talk about the Willie Lynch letter for a second. All right, so Bowie had a professor or someone to go into it to talk about it, and I'm going to use that to springboard to this conversation and compare it to the NFL, okay? Whether or not the Willie Lynch letter is real or hoax, because it is debatable. It's been around since 1970. Some people say the language in the Willie Lynch letter doesn't fit the times that it was written in, like 1800s, 1762. Some people say we didn't use this type of language in 1762. I'm like, chances are it was rewritten just like the Bible multiple times, right? And the language updated to fit the modern time for easier understanding. One thing about the Willie Lynch letter, what the hell they are claiming was written about Black people and how to create a slave and keep Black people under your thumb, basically, control, is spot on. See, what a lot of people don't talk about, the media, the same media that's trying to blame Shadur for Stefanski getting fired, Stefanski not want to be accountable for his behavior because he's carrying out the racist agenda that the overall league has. Do not forget about Brian Flores' lawsuit. The NFL is rife with racism. So it's not anywhere near a stretch that Stefanski is being racist. There are 0 Black offensive coordinators. There are only 4 Black head coaches, and they got 2 with a dot on their head that they're trying to get rid of. Man, that. So when you're being sued for being racist and you're still being racist, how are you mad? Because 12 million people want to call it out. How can you blame Shadur for Stefanski's situation that he put himself in, trying to show all of us that he's racist, that Shadur isn't worthy of being a quarterback? He made sure that we knew, we don't want you, we don't value you, you're not worthy. We have standards for this position. Kevin Stefanski made sure we understood that Jim Crow is alive and well. We know how good Shadur is. We know he's a good kid. But we have standards for this position. And Kevin Stefanski proceeded to use, and is documented, every racial stereotype against Shadur. He can't read this. He can't process this. He can't lead that. That's a lie. He's too slow with this. He was essentially using the same verbiage they use to justify 400 years of slavery. But yet it's Shadur's fault that Kevin Stefanski is busted for being racist. Hell no, it's not. So y'all need to keep pushing back on these people, because what Kevin Stefanski was trying to do to break Shadur, and we all know he was trying to break him, whether you wanted to say it was buck breaking or whether you wanted to say he's trying to change him, Kevin Stefanski did his best to put Shadur in a position where he could control him and Shadur be vulnerable and feel like he's dependent on Kevin Stefanski, which are the tenets of the Willie Lynch letter. Now, in this excerpt from Bowie State University, they use as an example the music industry. But as I'm reading it, you're also going to bring to mind the NFL and how it recruits players and who it values and who it discards. So let's take a listen to this. All right. So shout out to who wrote it. I guess his name is at the top. Shout out to Kevin Cottrell. The commentary: be yourself, Shadur, but hide or hate yourself, Shadur. That's it. That's what the Browns wanted him to do. We want you to go out here and be yourself, but we want you to hate yourself at the same time. The same goes for Jerry Jeudy. They claimed they wanted him to be himself, but they told him who to pair up with. And they told him who to stand against. Be yourself, but hate yourself. Why they never said Jerry Jeudy was cocky? Because he arrogant. Because he's submissive. What did DeMaurice Smith say? NFL players are conditioned to submit. Jerry Jeudy, whether he wants to admit it or not, chose to be submissive, and they used him as a pawn to divide and try to conquer. And hopefully his family talked to him, and that's why on the next opportunity, he got it right. And hopefully he's consistent for the last 4 games, and Shadur can depend on him to win and stand in unity, which is the corporate messaging. But the opposite of what Stefanski culture he's been creating. Stefanski has created a divisive, toxic culture. But the team messaging is unity. So it makes it bullshit. Because you're still holding on to Stefanski. So it's posturing. All right. So be yourself, but hate yourself. It says, there is blood on the leaves. It said, we are being deceived, perceiving this as reality, while we're seen as fruit hanging from a forbidden tree. I'm questioning the story of Christianity. It says, because the Garden of Eden has a stench of curiosity, commonly seen in the culture of white supremacy. It said it's a poem that speaks volumes, addressing the third eye and the awakened consciousness. Why didn't they want Black people to learn how to read? So we could think for ourselves and make decisions for ourselves. What did Quinshon Judkins say when he left Ohio State? Ole Miss. Some people get upset when you make decisions for yourselves. Now, as far as I know, Quinshon Judkins been balling out too, right? But I'm looking at all of these images with Shadur and with Harold Fannie Jr. And I said on the Browns page, now you need to add Quinshon Judkins so they could be the big 3. Let's be clear about this. The defense is dominated by mostly Black players, and the mostly Black players are the stars. Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Greg Delpit, Alex White, and might be some others in there. But they're all the faces of the defense, and they're Black. Oh, and Carson Schlesinger, that's who they just drafted. But that's 4-1, right? The defense is number 2 in the country. But they were forced by head coach Kevin Stefanski to hang back, not put in a position to win, but to allow the Titans to win, the 49ers to win, so that the Browns could exit the playoff and Shadur not get the credit for, after having a losing season, bringing the team up to speed quickly and being put in the playoff hunt. Yeah. So then I have a mostly Black dominant defense. And then I come over here and I add Shadur to Quinshon Judkins and Harold Fannie Jr. and Jerry Jeudy. And I could have instantly had what? A dominant offense. But instead I chose to, like in the Willie Lynch letter, say divide and conquer, starting with Jerry Jeudy. Then I leave Gage out there struggling. Shadur seemingly has alluded to the fact that Luke is coming back and how they had that dog connection, because Shadur said it. He's one of the hungry dogs. I had Isaiah Bond hit or miss. But I got Harold Fannie Jr. and I got Dylan Sampson. So Shadur still got it done. And he still can get it done. And there can be a dominant offense in Cleveland with a Black franchise quarterback with a dominant a dominant defense in Cleveland with what? Myles Garrett as the leader. So the leaders of the team are Black now. And this is what Kevin Stefanski wants to sabotage. That's what it is. Black leadership in the NFL at a time when I have zero offensive coordinators, when I skip over coaches like Brian Flores and fire him when he has a winning record. When I need to replace a coach, I replace a coach with who? Another white coach. I don't even give a black head coach any consideration. Marcus Freeman's name came up overnight. The same Marcus Freeman that denounced his blackness in the Natty last year. But his name came up. Not a surprise. So if I'm shunning black leadership as head coaches, offensive coordinator, the decision-making roles, why the hell would I want a black quarterback? They don't. So Stefanski, because his culture is toxic and racist, chose to lose. And Jerry Jeudy allowed himself to be used like a pawn to divide and conquer, just like the Willie Lynch letter said, whether he knew it or not. And Shadur still got it done, despite all of the divide and conquer. So it says, mental slavery is a subliminal tactic used to keep Africans in America in psychological chains for generations. And this is still going on. When you let people manipulate you to turn against somebody that look like you, Jerry Jeudy, you played yourself. You played yourself, and that's why he got all that smoke. It said, Willie Lynch prophesied this method of control that would push an inferior mentality on the enslaved and eliminate the strength in numbers that unity provides. Now, if the Browns really wanted unity like their corporate messaging says, why after Jerry Jeudy, Denzel Ward, and Myles Garrett spoke up and said Shadur was ready, how was it that Myles Garrett got pushback and was essentially told he on defense so he can't speak to what's going on to offense? How was it Jerry Jeudy that practiced at Colorado in 2023 with the Denver Broncos, who got to meet Shadur, was turned or allowed himself to turn against Shadur, who he knew? And how was it Denzel Ward, his targets were reduced? That's called intimidation. Where is Tony Brown? That's called retaliation. Divide and conquer. There is strength in numbers. And the Browns organization works vehemently to make sure Black players do not come together. So you saw the whole Willie Lynch phenomenon, the prophecy play out right before your eyes in Cleveland. Mental slavery. That's all it is. In 2017, the late owner of the Texans said what? After the players were kneeling after the Colin Kaepernick took a knee, we can't have the prisoners, the inmates running what? The prison, the jail. So these billionaire owners, some of them are looking down upon these millionaire players that are Black, predominantly Black, as inmates or prisoners. So if I think you in jail, I think you a slave because you working for me. And I could do what I want. And that's why they treat them and play all of these mental hijinks and this psychological warfare. That's what you saw going on with Stefanski trying to take down Shadur. And they started by trying to pitch Shadur against his own father in the draft. Because Coach Prime raised his children, his sons, to know who they are. And the NFL don't want quarterbacks like that because they can't control them like they controlled Jerry Jeudy. And like they controlling KT Levister, like they controlling Tevin Jenkins, like they controlling the one on the end over there, the left tackle, Cam, somebody. They playing in each one of their face and laughing behind their back every time they blow their coverages for Shadur. And you know why they doing it? Because they want to stay on the team. Coercion. That's what it is. And they can't break Shadur. So a war has erupted. And the media, some of them, wants Stefanski fired so Shadur could play ball. And then there's some other people in the media who feel like Stefanski will get fired, and it's Shadur's fault. Stefanski don't want to be accountable, and the media don't want to hold Stefanski accountable because they like the Willie Lynch tenets of divide and conquer, psychological warfare, mental slavery, running rampant through the NFL because racism is rife in the NFL. These people prove Brian Flores' lawsuit is valid every damn day and have the audacity to want to blame Shadur because Stefanski is being held accountable by 12 million people. That's ridiculous. So it says that was in 17 to 22 when supposedly this prophecy came about. The method of control that will push an inferior mentality on the enslaved and eliminate the strength in numbers, therefore disrupting unity, providing Africans and Americans. It said Lynch stated that the correct use of his methods will control these Africans in America for 300 years or more. Now, people say it's a hoax, and it very well could be. I'm not even about to debate the validity. What I am is saying is the reality of what was written, regardless of when it was written, on how to subdue Black people, on how to divide and conquer Black people. Oh, it's facts. And the fact that this was produced in 1970, whether it was real or not, lets you know that this is something that has been practiced going back 300 years. And we're still seeing it today. And it's most prevalent in the NFL right there in Cleveland. That's the point of it. Don't worry about whether it was real or not. They not lying. Who cares when it was written? Who cares if it was a prophecy? Or who cares if they studied the reality of what was taking place and compiled it? It's the truth. Don't get lost on the messenger. Heed the message. So for the guys coming out of school this year, like Dante Moore, Lenore Sellers, who they not even mentioning, and he was the #1 player coming out of college when the season started until he got heavily concussed and left to lay on the field for 5 minutes. So what they gonna do to Dante Moore? Or is it because he went to Oregon? And the message is Coach Prime can't have no Black first round quarterbacks, but Dan Lanning can. Let's see what the message turns out to be. It said we can see that this has come to fruition with the help of the media today. Facts, including sports media. And they are helping. It says what has not been fully addressed is whether the press deliberately support the white supremacist agenda or whether media's participation transformed into something less intentional but equally dangerous. So here's what they're saying. Is the media a willing participant in furthering white supremacy? I'm going to ask the question about sports, football, the NFL. The media that's blaming Shadur, the media that defamed Shadur, the media that led a character assassination, were they a willing participant into the devaluing of Shadur Sanders, the disparagement, the humiliation? Yeah. Absolutely yes. Because they all had the same talking points. They all had the exact same talking points. They all trashed Coach Prime. They all betrayed Coach Prime because Coach Prime worked for the NFL for how many years? Outside of football. They all mocked Shadur, saying he couldn't pick his own jersey number because he was a 5th round pick. I told y'all, they gave Travis Shadur's money and gave Shadur Travis' jersey number. Divide and conquer like Jerry Judy. But there was nothing Travis could do. And then when Travis had the audacity to make a decision for himself and ask for his $31 million up front, then they want to turn on him. Because they didn't do that. They didn't pit Travis against Shadur for no reason. They thought because of what they saw with Travis and his now wife, that he was submissive and he would be easily easily tamed. But that ain't true, is it? Not him and his wife getting baptized. When Travis turned over his life to God and let everybody know, they began to tear him down. Because like DeMaurice Smith said, the NFL wants to have supreme control over the player. That includes God. Kevin Stefanski is supposed to be a devout Catholic. Because Shadur, on multiple occasions, you can see that's how he leads his life. That he's been growing closer to God. And Stefanski said, what? God works in mysterious ways and proceeded to tear down Shadur like Stefanski was the devil himself. Stefanski showed everybody who he was. And the people that want to protect Stefanski are protecting white supremacy. It says, for example, in the music industry, they search for psychologically unstable Black youth. What did Travis tell you about his life? What did you see happen? It said in neighborhoods, in struggling neighborhoods. Didn't Travis tell the people he was homeless? Didn't he tell you he was upset with how he came up? So they saw him as somebody that was vulnerable, and they were dangling the carrot, which there was money, over his head, and they figured they could exact their plan. And Travis would just be happy with whatever. That they never saw that he would make a decision for himself, like Quinshon Judkins. But in Travis's case, asked for his damn money. See, they ain't see that coming. And that's why they underutilized him. I ain't gonna tell you that's why he hurt, but hey, is the insurance company picking up his $31 million that he asked for upfront? There you go. So it says it right here. They look for a certain kind of people, and they're looking for unstable Black youth in struggling neighborhoods and create stars. Unstable Black youth in the NFL, that's Black men likely without strong fathers. Yep. Now there are Black men who have strong mothers and they just fine, but they're really looking for the ones without strong fathers. They're looking for the ones that were homeless before the season. They're looking for the ones that I can turn you against Shadur, Jerry Jeudy. They're looking for the ones like KT Levingston, who desperate to be approved of so he can make the team next year. So I'm looking for a Black man who's going to do what? Blow his coverages. But then the moment that the white player gets busted, he gets taken out the game. So he can't get in trouble. But the Black players can catch all this smoke. It said they created these stars. These newly created stars now appeal to youth across America in similar situations. Let's put this in NFL terms. Okay, these newly created stars from the draft who came from unstable backgrounds. How many times was Cam Ward sacked? Already we were 48, 49. Cam Ward comes from a two-parent home. Stable background. How many times has Caleb Williams been sacked? 72, 73? Just in his rookie year? Caleb Williams comes from a stable two-family, intact background. How about Bryce Young? How many times was he sacked? First time, 65? From a two-parent, stable home. And look what happened to him. I could go on. Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson. I can go on. And they all have been done dirty, but they got some of them to believe it's their fault. Unfortunately, Cam Ward is one of them. I was listening to Cam Ward, and we're probably gonna look at it on another day because it's a lot happening here. And Cam was upset because they didn't ask him that he want to come play for the Colts. They went and got Phillip Rivers, who looked like he 250 pounds, who was at home with his 10 kids. Facts. I saw Phillip Rivers today and didn't know that was him because he looked like Doughboy out here. Not the real Doughboy, but, you know, the Michelin man. I'm like, that's the guy they want to come out here and play at the age of 44? And Cam was like, I didn't know I had to tell you I wanted the opportunity, because did Phillip Rivers tell you he wanted the opportunity? No. And you know what Cam said? I know why they didn't ask me. Because officially, apparently, Cam has never retired. Rivers has retired. Cam is still available. He never retired. Cam said, I know they didn't ask me because it's my personality. So they got you to believe the lie. See, that's the part of it right there. Be yourself, but hate yourself. I said, Cam, this has nothing to do with your personality. And you know how you know that? You on 3 different platforms, have 4 different channels, and everybody loves you. But the NFL, because you're black. And you would have added to the 17-32 historic year coming up. And they don't want that. That's why they use Daniel Jones to steal Anthony Richardson's job in the first place. They could have gave Anthony Richardson's job his job back. If you're going to go get a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers off his couch weighing 250 pounds, you trying to tell me you couldn't give QB2 Anthony Richardson his damn job back? It's because you're black, Cam. And the more you keep speaking that nonsense, you selling out the next generation. All of these athletes that you are training up need to know that this is what happens when you are a black athlete with 2 parents or confident. Whether you have mentors, whether you was in a Boys and Girls Club, because you know who you are and you will not let them tear you down. These former athletes owe it to the next generation to be honest. It has nothing to do with your damn personality. Because why they didn't give Anthony Richardson his own damn job back? Answer that. It said, for example, in the music industry, they search for psychologically unstable black youth in struggling neighborhoods. It creates stars. It said, given the backgrounds of the new stars, they're more likely to have troubled past. And the industry revels in this. Take the word industry out and put NFL in. One day, somebody, if they haven't done it already, is going to do their dissertation on the Willie Lynch letter, the tenets in the NFL, and prove it. Yeah, because it's there. If you can do it with the music industry, you can do the same damn thing with the NFL. It's more prevalent in the NFL. You see it. And the industry revels in this. Facts. We don't want quarterbacks like Shadur because we can't control him. And we already got 16 or 17. Then I don't want 18 or 19. Imagine having 3 quarterbacks come out in one draft that are confident in who they are. Cam Ward, and they sure was surprised. They sure was surprised. See, they thought he was quiet because they ignored him. See, that's ignorant. Just because you ignored Cam don't mean he was quiet. And you didn't even bother to get to know him. And he had footage on the internet that showed you he liked the yap. But they found that out in person. And then that's when they went in trying to make him look difficult. He ain't difficult. Cam is Cam. Be yourself, but hate yourself. Cam has been sacked 48 times with supposedly a new O-line because he knows exactly who he is and he ain't going to let nobody tear him down and he going to try to win. If I want you to throw a game, it ain't going to be with Cam. If I want you to throw the season, it damn sure ain't going to be with Shadur Sanders. And if I want you to cheat, it's probably not going to be with Jalen Milroe. You see how they moved him so far out the way, you forgot he was over there. And they think they got him buried for 2 years. And they might, because he was QB2 in the preseason. Then he went out there and balled out and they made him QB3. So this is what happens when they can't break you. You get benched or you get sacked excessively because you ain't come from an unstable home and they can't control you. Every athlete coming into this damn league better know what it is. It said, the industry revels in having people that with troubled past. It said, these created stars now appeal to youth across America in similar situations. Think about all the players that want to get drafted. Think about all the players want to come out of Colorado. Sincere Brown has put his hat in there. I don't know why nobody just don't put their talents and their energy together and start their own shit. But that's what it means by they want you to be dependent on them. They want you to see what's happened to Shadur, ignore it, and you come on and get some. rather than starting your own, because they don't even think you can. This came out in 1970, right? In 2016, Colin Kaepernick took a knee, and people like me backed away from the NFL because they didn't want Colin Kaepernick to give a damn about black people that he could even be related to, or his own damn teammates, right? Or be a decent person. So I did back away from the NFL and came right back with Shadur, and I'm like, Lord, have mercy. I guess God, like, there's more to see. So 2016, I don't even want you to give a damn about other black people. You play football. Don't forget the Wyoming 14, the black players of the Wyoming 16 was told by their head coach verbatim when they were in solidarity for something. I forgot what they were in solidarity for. Your football is more important than your civil rights. That coach got fired next year. Stefanski, the only one, still got a job. It said their songs perpetuate violence and bring allure to self-destruction for their troubled young listeners. It said artists like Chief Keef caused our generation to give into assimilation. Jerry Judy, that's what they wanted from you, because his family's background is Haitian. And some of them think that because Jerry Judy's Haitian, they're going to use him to divide against African Americans. Who remembers when Njoku, who's also from immigrant family, I think Nigeria maybe, made it a point to gravitate towards Shadur? That's right. Njoku was like, you ain't finna use me. But see, Jerry Judy fell for the bait. But seemingly he back on track, but consistency matters. So we got to see. Because I don't even know how they got him to do that. I would love to know, was it a text message, a phone call? Did they make you feel like you were one of them? What the hell happened there? Because you right back over here. Consistency, people. It's good that they were able to get it done at a game, but we got to make sure it's genuine and not used to lure Shadur in again and try to hurt him. Absolutely. So it said, this is how America is making sure that the prophecy of Willie Lynch does not die. That's facts. That's facts. So that's over there. Y'all can go check that out. That's at Bowie State. That's on their site. It's actually the truth, right? The tenets of Willie Lynch is all over the NFL. It's all over the NFL. And it's just kind of sad, right, that this is out there and people don't know it. So let AI sum it up for you real fast, that what it really is. I'm going to let AI sum it up for you so you yourself can be educated. All right. It says, the purported principles of the Willie Lynch letter. It says the core principles described in the letter intend to control back then enslaved populations, but in the NFL terms, black players. And this happened for centuries. So you could say that the Cleveland Browns have adopted the Willie Lynch prophecy. It's on centered, and everything is surrounded and centered on the divide and conquer strategy. Think Jerry Judy. Think how they tried to break Myles Garrett down every time he stuck up for Shadur. Denzel Ward getting less targets. Think about Tony Brown being expelled, contract being terminated because he showed concern and care for Shadur, who was being abused by Stefanski. Every time Myles Garrett spoke up for Shadur, they put something out there about him to make him seem troublesome. So the divide and conquer strategy is real in the toxic culture of the Cleveland Browns, as if Stefanski read the Willie Lynch prophecy him down self. It said division by difference. The main principle is to exhibit and magnify the differences. Jerry Judy's Haitian, Shadur Sanders African American. Myles Garrett, you on defense. You don't know nothing about offense. So y'all leave Shadur over here on this QB island by himself. It said magnifies the differences among the players based on age, gender, and skin color. Now, we talking about black people. How many times have y'all heard me say, is Jordan Love Mama white or something? Because what the hell is up? We already know about Pat Mahomes. We already know about Dak Prescott. When they said the Green Bay Packers gonna win the Super Bowl, and I have that beautiful picture of Jordan Love with his stitch braids and Shadur Sanders with his stitch braids. What was my question? Is Jordan Love's mama white or something? Bingo. Skin color. Shadur, Lamar, Tyrod Taylor, Deshaun, Jameis Winston, RG3. You see, they got him too. Just like Jerry Jeudy, they got RG3. What all them brothers have in common? They brown skin. And y'all heard me talk about it. They use this. This came straight out of slavery. Don't forget, in 2020, when George Floyd passed, that's when Stefanski got hired, right before that. But what happened in 2021? Not 5 years ago. It's not even 5 years ago. In 2021, the NFL was busted for race norming, saying that all black NFL players, regardless of skin tone, were dumber than their white counterparts in race norming. This is less than 5 years ago. So why would anybody try to justify what Stefanski is doing as revenge for some external third-party activity that's false? Or he's in a tough spot because he got a lot of rookies? Absolutely not. Racism 101. And I said it earlier. As somebody from the South, Stefanski, the deep-seated hatred he has for Shadur is where he's dismissed him, devalued him. We don't want you. We don't need you. Sabotage him by any means necessary, including getting him hurt because he was sacked 5 times in a game. And it wasn't Shadur's fault. It was an elimination game, and Stefanski set him up, just like the Titans game. By any means necessary. Because we don't believe that you are worthy of being a quarterback. Like the NFL don't have a disgusting history with black quarterbacks. This not 5 years ago. All black NFL players, regardless of skin color, are dumber than white people. Translation, black people are dumber than white people. No black offensive coordinators. No, only 4 black head coaches, and I'm coming for the 2 that's there. The NFL is rife with racism. Race Norman, $1 billion lawsuit. Less than 5 years ago, and you don't think Stefanski's racist because he's done everything to shun Shadur, to sabotage Shadur, to get him hurt. And he knew he was a franchise QB because the whole team determined that Shadur Sanders was their long-term franchise QB solution. And then they concocted this scheme to bring Travis into the mix to humiliate Shadur. And do what? Give Travis They don't want him to believe what his father instilled in him, which is why they don't like Coach Prime. We don't want quarterbacks like Shadur Sanders now because we got too many black quarterbacks, and I don't need nobody that believe in themselves. I don't need no more people that believe in themselves. Get Travis, get Cam. Y'all wrong. False. Thinking you know black people. Thinking you know how to break down black people because you think you know black people. Thinking you can pit Jerry Judy, who's of Haitian descent, against Shadur, who's African American. The damn boat just stopped in Haiti before it got to the States. That's disgusting. They're not out here playing football. They want you to be dependent on the NFL. Like these lowly paid players out here who don't have no real contracts. So they can, what? KT Leviston, blow your coverages. Cam, you over there on the end, blow your coverages. They have successfully forced y'all to submit so you can agree to assimilate, so you can carry out their mission against another black quarterback. Shame on y'all. And the whole Ravens defense and the defensive coordinator of the Ravens too. They protected Dillon, but tried to annihilate Shadur. How the hell does this work? Psychological warfare. They really pimping y'all out. It said the letter emphasizes suppressing African American languages, traditions, and cultural identity. They can't stand them stitch braids. They can't stand it. So people telling Shadur need to change his hair. Shh. Replacing them with a new language and value system. They want you to come in and cut your hair off so they can tolerate you, so they can stand you, so they don't feel like you a threat, so they feel like you don't want to walk in your blackness and celebrate yourself. And prevent communication and organization so that Shadur doesn't have a relationship and run over to the end of the field and talk to Lamar Jackson or talk to Cam or talk to Caleb. They don't want that. They want them to hate each other. And they want people to look at Shadur and hate him, but they want people to look at Jackson Dart, who dresses in Shadur every day, and appreciate and honor him because he got swag. So Shadur can't be Shadur, but Jackson Dart can be Shadur. Yeah, okay. Hold on one second. So my laptop thinks that we're not operating on a battery, but we are. So I might not have a lot of time. Yeah, I don't know. It thinks we're not plugged in, but we are. So that's basically what we are with the Willie Lynch letter. Shout out to I think it was Faithful Believer who told me to go look into it. I did. I saw the striking similarities. If I was getting my master's this year, because I already have my master's, if I was getting my master's, this would be my thesis. The tenets of the Willie Lynch letter and the similarities in the NFL. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you get your PhD, go for it. All right. So that's what it is, guys. Shadur is preparing for Caleb. If y'all don't know, they met up before. Hold on one second. They met up before. That's just kind of weird. All right. So they met up before in 2023, and they essentially asked Caleb about them playing against each other. And Caleb said that, Shadur played well, but I think we won that game. Caleb is correct. But understand this. This was a battle. And this was a battle in 2023. And Shadur almost came back and won. If you know anything about Colorado's 2023 season, you know those games were sabotaged after game 3. You know that, you understand that. So when you look at the game, it ended 48-14. But remember, I always say you got to look at how they scored and what pattern and who scored first, right? So when they came into this game, the Trojans were 5-0, and this was a season I think they said Caleb Williams could have won his second Heisman. So he balled out. I mean, he was a dog. And we saw his parents at every game. He had like NIL with a Porsche and all of that. He was one of the first people, you know, to live like that. And then here comes Shadur behind him. They were 3-2. So they had already went 0-3. And when the Oregon game came, that's when the sabotage set in. So what I noticed the pattern of behavior is the offensive coordinator slowed down the game. And Colorado always got going late. Why? Because they knew Shadur could come from behind and win the game. And he almost did. So if you look at it, USC scored 14 points first, and then Colorado 0. Now, this is a testament to how much of a dog Shadur is. In the second quarter, 14 points. The third quarter, 13 points. The fourth quarter, 14 points. So it should let you know that when they got to this game, they were already being sabotaged, and they held Shadur back. Kevin Stefanski did the same thing in the Titans game. Go pay attention to everything before Shadur scored that first touchdown. It was like a switch. The same thing. This is where they wanted the season to end upside down for Coach Prime. And this is where people know it was sabotage. But look at how much of a dog Shadur was to come back and fight. Now understand, if Caleb and Shadur can go out here and play ball, and they both still have the same high level of play, right? People say Caleb is inconsistent, his accuracy. Some people think he played hero ball. They say the same thing about Shadur. The spread, I think, is the over-under is 40. You know why? Because the media knows that these two can ball out. So if USC had 48 and Colorado had 41, you might want to go ahead and bet whatever it is that say they're going to get more than 40 points. Because these two can ball. These two quarterbacks can ball. And it seems like they want both of them to stay in the pocket. And whenever they get out of the pocket, they are successful. So I already scheduled the watch party because it's going to be a good game. And when you look at Shadur was 30 of 5, 330 of 45, 371 yards. How many yards did Shadur score in the NFL versus the NFL team in a regular season? 393 yards. This is typical for him. And he was held back in this game. He could have had 6 touchdowns in this game, just like he could have had 6 touchdowns against the Titans. These players are being held back. And as good as Shadur was, Cam, they were 5-0. I mean, Caleb was 5-0. And then they had him sacked 72 times, trying to make it seem like Caleb, the Heisman winner, the person who could have won the Heisman twice, couldn't learn the offense. Yep. And this year, they were trying to dismiss him by paying his backup $10 million. This young man could have won the Heisman twice if it weren't for Travis. He goes to the NFL. They draft him first. They let him get sacked 72 times. A double Heisman winner, 72 times. And they try to say he can't learn the offense from college to the NFL. Football is football. Like Travis Hunter said, all you got to do is learn the plays. To devalue him. Nobody told you to pick him first. And Caleb Williams was trying to go to another league. And the NFL was like, we're going to draft you anyway. Draft to destroy. And this year, they were headed to the playoffs. I don't know what the hell happened. And now he getting ready to face off against Shadur, another quarterback that they holding back. They both being held back, just like Cam, just like Shadur. But they probably going to give this game to Caleb. And it wouldn't surprise me if both teams working to make sure neither quarterback ball the hell out and that the run game or the defense wins the game. So Shadur was 66%. In this game, Cam was 30 of 40, 400 yards, 6 touchdowns. These dudes are beasts. They are beasts. And when they come to the NFL with a 2-parent family stable life, light skin, dark skin, they get broken down. They get broken down. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn at all. Trying to find something to say that they weak. 75% for Cam, 66 for Shadur, I think. On accuracy, 75% accurate. And they talking about he ain't accurate in the NFL. Did the ball change? Is he throwing to anything other than a receiver or a tight end? The game ain't that damn different. They intentionally making these guys look bad. And the fact that they gave their white D3 backup $10 million was sending a message to Cam the way Stefanski sent a message to Shadur about Dylan. That's all it is. That's just all it is, y'all. Let me see what y'all are saying. Trying to see if my camera can find me. It might. Just give it a minute. Just give it a minute. So Shadur is on the record basically saying, you know, he ain't worried about no game after this game. He just want to play this game. Caleb said he remembers the game. They both did well, but USC won the game. They want Caleb and Shadur to hate each other. They do not. Just like Shadur and Cam Ward don't hate each other. When it comes to these two black quarterbacks playing each other, they always got something going on that they want to make it seem. Hold on one second. Like they want to make it seem like it's a problem. I don't know why my camera tripping. Who knows? Who knows? Hey, RD, thank you for following me on X. I appreciate it. Let me put this on the screen and make myself smaller because it's blurred, so I'll let y'all look at something else. All right. All right, so this was Shadur from today's. I don't know if some of y'all had a chance to see it or not. I'll let y'all see it. Try to give my camera time to find me. I'm standing right here. And y'all can take a listen to that. This is Shadur on being the starting quarterback beyond the next 4.
That's a long, deep. That's a long, deep thought. Like that's not in my focus. My focus right now is the team we're playing ahead, the Bears. So anything past that, I'm not really focused on. Honestly, I'm thankful for it, but I'm not content. You know, with my situation, with everything, and with leading this team. That's a long, deep thought. Like that's not in my focus. My focus right now is the team we're playing ahead, the Bears. So anything past that, I'm not really focused on. Honestly, I'm thankful for it, but I'm not content. You know, with my situation.
So, in other words, Shadur not worried about that. I mean, honestly, he like, look, I'm not worried about that. They want him to have some kind of feeling of pressure on if he's going to be there next year or not. What did I say? They want these guys to feel like, oh, I got to do this. I have to do that to get in this coach's favor because they might not bring me back next year. They want him to care about it. But Shadur, like, I'm not worried about that, right? I'm not worried about that at all. And neither he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be.
I know they wanted to know
what Shadur said to Cam. I don't know why they always got to know what two black quarterbacks are talking about. But first it was Shadur and Jalen Hurts. Now it's Shadur and Cam.
Well, this is my life here, you know. So we're on two different spectrums right now. You know, I gotta focus on playing my best and being the best player I can for the team, and obviously the situations are different. So I know he puts his all into these games and these Final Four games, but it's just a little bit different, you know, because you don't know what could happen, you know. So I just go here, enjoy my day, you know, work hard, do everything I can, and if I'm here, I'm here. I'm not. Like it's nothing in my control, so I try to control what I can control. That's going out there, making the right reads, going out there, doing the right things, being the person I am, and things will fall how they're supposed to.
So here's the thing. This goes into exactly what I was saying. This goes into they want them to feel like they have to be dependent on. Hold on, this is crazy. Yeah, I don't know. They want them to feel like they have, there we go, that they have to be dependent on the league. I have to get into coach's good graces. I want to come back. This is all I'm going to be able to do. Like they don't have no options. In the moment that they have options, they're like, oh, you're not committed to the team. Like when Skip Bayless said about Travis, which was disgusting when Travis got baptized. He got baptized like at 8 or 9 in the morning on a Sunday. The game was at 1 o'clock. He didn't use no PTO. And Skip is like, he can't be committed to the team if he could get baptized on the same day. I'm like, I don't know what it is about God y'all can't stand, but y'all showing that y'all have a problem when these players turn their life over to God like they supposed to turn their life over to you. Absolutely not. That's disgusting. That's thing. And I rip Skip for that. Shadur Camp, what's his name? Travis can do whatever he want to do with his personal time. Whatever he want to do before it's time for him to clock in, it's his goddamn business. And you see how they wanted to know what Shadur said to Cam? They can't respect these black players and their type of relationships that they have. That might be one of the reasons they don't let these people see that they know each other. Thank God they don't have company issue phones because they'd be going through their text messages. They would definitely be going through their text messages. It said, we've been talking about Stefanski. Hell, we been wanted you out. Hell, you could have left on Sunday, but don't forget to check Dylan Gabriel and your sorry play. Don't forget to take Dylan Gabriel and your sorry playbook with you. They should send you service for everything else. Yeah, Stefanski wanting to leave and people blaming Shadur or identifying themselves as being like-minded, like Kevin Stefanski, and you should block every last one of them. Every last one of them. Anybody covering for Stefanski, oh, he in a tough spot, block them. Anybody that's blaming Shadur for Stefanski choosing to exhibit racism like he part of the Klan, block them. Block them without hesitation. Block them. So yeah, Stefanski can go. Bye. Just goodbye. It said, hey gang, it said, let's get this show on the road. Hit the like button. It says, please check your email before you start the show. Okay. No, I didn't get to check it. It said, great evening, chat, and what she said. I am here for more knowledge. Checking in from Maryland. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. It said, let's go, let's go, let's go. Another good game coming up. Facts. This is going to be a good game. These dudes are dogs. They just dogs, right? And I told y'all, I want you to think about the few games Shadur has played in. This will be the third game Shadur has played in where both of the quarterbacks are black. The Ravens, Lamar versus Shadur, and they set both of them up. And they didn't tell you Shadur was going to play in that game because you see how the last game, the Titans game, was highly anticipated. People that know Cam played Shadur are excited for this game. Jordan Love just played Caleb Williams. You see, that's what they don't want. And they don't even want to celebrate these two playing each other. All they want to talk about is what did Cam say to Shadur, just like they wanted to know what Jalen Hurts and Shadur talked about. That ain't none of your business. That's how they don't respect these young men as men. You don't need to know what they talking about. Y'all didn't focus on Shadur and how well he's doing. And how well the team could be with a coach that's not toxic and doesn't have an agenda. Even the white people know that Stefanski has an agenda. And his agenda is racism. They know it. So the people that are taking up for Stefanski, they know he have an agenda too. And they want him to stay there and exact it because they themselves don't want to see 17, 18, 19 or 20 black quarterbacks playing each other. Shadur has played, this will be his fourth whole game. And he has had 3 of the 4 games against black quarterbacks. That's what they don't want. That's exactly what they don't want. So they'll go over there and collect Dante Moore and put him on the team, put Shadur behind him, and then Deshaun behind him. So they have 3 elite black quarterbacks on the same team instead of spread out, playing for Minnesota, playing for the 49ers, playing for the Rams, playing for the Bills. Those teams do not have black quarterbacks at all. Shadur said, I just watched Shadur's interview. He trusts no man but God. Facts, because anything can happen. Right. He doesn't know what they'll do next time. Right. And what did he say? They asked him, Shadur, about something about his future plans or what did he knew he was going to do in the game, or did he say, I don't have no plans? And what I say, these guys got to come in with, you can't want nothing. You can't. And Shadur's there. Like Lamar gonna have to get to the point, and I have said this, he gonna have to, you don't want nothing. You don't even want the Super Bowl. As badly as you want it, you better let it go. Because the longer you hold on to a Super Bowl, as long as you hold on to $330 million, you ain't gonna get it. You see, Shadur got QB1. You know why? Because he wasn't holding on to it. He wasn't out here doing whatever so he could get it, so they could make fun of him and use him. He was like, whatever God want me to have, I'm good. Whatever God allows, I'm good. If I'm here, good. If I'm not, okay. That's how you got to be. That's actually how I am. A lot of people like, I want Shadur traded. I'm like, Shadur is actually on a team. And I said it. He had the best chance to get to QB1 with the Browns because Dylan wasn't good. And guess what else he has? A best chance to get to the Super Bowl. You know why? Because he got one hell of a defense. And they can take them 10 picks they got next year with Shadur as their franchise, Quashawn Junkins, Dylan Sampson, Harold Fannin Jr., and get some more damn receivers and an entire O-line, first and second depth. And they can go to the Super Bowl. But do they want to go to the Super Bowl with a black quarterback? The way these last 4 games go, if they let Kevin Stefanski sabotage Shadur, what Kevin Stefanski need to be trying to do is rehab his reputation and let Shadur go out here and play ball and go on somewhere. But he probably ignorant. So let's see what happens. Because he fixated. And now that he done got his hand slapped, he want to go run and cry to Albert Breer. He want to leave. Get the hell on. Because this team can go to the Super Bowl. Just like Jaden Daniels almost got there. Just like CJ Stroud almost got there. It said those old-fashioned and reporting tactics are not working in 2025. Facts. Ain't nobody worried about that. And that's what they using. That's why I say Stefanski got an old dirty playbook. And he trying to use it on Shadur because he used it on Deshaun. He probably used it on Tyrod Taylor. Likely used it on RG3. I know he used it on Jameis Winston, PJ Walker, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, just in case I left him out. And before he got there, that same dirty playbook was used on Deshaun Kaiser. And the dirty coaches playbook handbook was used on Brian Flores. And who else? Hugh Jackson. And for people that don't know, when Shadur was 16 and Coach Prime put out that tweet that was saying, I like what they doing in Cleveland, because Hugh Jackson was the head coach. But no young quarterback should go there. That's facts. Because they let Deshaun Kaiser go 0-15. And later on, when that saga ended, Coach Prime took up for that young man. They say that's why Deshaun Watson is supportive of Shadur, because Coach Prime stepped up for him. Because Coach Prime probably knew Deshaun wasn't the only one. He might have been the only black one, but he wasn't the only one. And some of them were married. But just like they protected Stefanski, they protected whoever was over there, married and white, giving Deshaun them women's phone numbers. Yeah. When the hate don't work, they start telling lies. That's facts. That's facts. That is just facts. Dante Moore is decent, but not close to Shadur. And they know that. And they know that. And I'm weary of anybody that puts Dante Moore in at the 2, just like they put the Shadur, because they're going to do him the same way. And if he end up in Cleveland, they're going to stack all 3 together, and they better get ready for World War III. They better get ready. In the football world, they better be ready. It said Kevin was blatantly discriminatory. They're trying to make it seem that nobody wants to be bothered with Shadur because of the media questioning and fan base. Right. So they trying to basically say no coach wants to coach in Cleveland because they're going to be held accountable. Well, if they racist, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. And honestly, Cleveland don't need no more racism. They have, Andrew Berry has put together a damn good rookie roster. It should have been allowed to get receivers, should have been allowed to get O-linemen. But no, we had to get a defensive tackle first because he's white. And then second, guaranteed money, second round, Carson Swessinger. Carson Swessinger is a dog. But then we really prioritize what the hell we need. No, we prioritize whiteness over wide receivers who are typically black. Now watch they gonna run out and get a tight end. Pay attention. Pay attention. Harold Fanning Jr. is a tight end, but you see they got him out the 3rd round. That kid is a dog. He should have been late 1st round for sure. For sure. Probably somewhere in the top 5 or 10. It said they don't care about the talent. This is a soap opera. Right. That's all it is. They don't give a damn about the talent. They don't even want Shadur's talent. They don't want Shadur because I can't control you. So you evaluating players' personalities on whether or not you can force them to assimilate, cut their stitch braids, and sabotage black quarterbacks. That's what you doing. That's what you doing. Thinking you looking for black people who's talented or people who are talented, when instead you looking for black people who you can put as bodies on the field, use up, pit against other black people, and discard in 3 years flat. Black people who not going to be smart enough to ask for their $31 million up front. Because that's what a damn signing bonus is. I shouldn't have to ask for that. And when Travis asked for his money, they ignored him. But when he went over there with Coach Prime, they got scared. And they gave him his money. And you think Shadur ain't going to get his money. You know what I heard somebody say? The NFL playing. They must think they got Coach Prime and the Sanders over a barrel. But Coach Prime walking in there looking like Frank Lucas, what did I say? He gonna own that bitch. I'm like, all of that niceness by Haslam was controlling the conversation. He was asserting his power. I wish Coach Prime had that damn fur coat on in that tunnel where they was talking at. Yep. It said 11 different quarterbacks during Stefanski's tenure. How many games won? Right. Exactly. Stefanski is a horrible coach, and they want to blame Shadur. You know why? Because they don't want the fans to use their collective power because they think, oh, I done subdued the players and then broke up and divided them so there's no strength in numbers. Now the fans coming at me. I told you earlier today, the black community's pissed. The ones that know what's going on, whether they football fans or not. I told you, anytime you got Attorney Ben Crump calling out how Shadur is being dismissed and mistreated and punished for being exceptional. Okay, keep playing. And you think the way around us is pulling us close to take photos on the field. Okay. Stop thinking you know black people. Yeah, that's why they're mad, because they don't want to be held accountable. It says Shadur Sanders is the most accurate QB in NCAA history. I don't know about that one, but I know he was accurate as hell when he left. Have you noticed Shadur is surrounded by a bunch of ducks and a lot of Oregon people and connections? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, because of apparently this whole consortium of people associated with one agency who they say the guy is one of the most powerful agents in the NFL, CAA or something like that. And don't forget, Dante Moore went to Oregon, and they pushing him at number 2. Pay attention to that. They either gonna set him up to fail next, or pit him against Shadur and try to use him to pigeonhole against Shadur and Deshaun. Let's see if Dylan get a get out of jail free card. And Stefanski ruined his damn draft stock. If I was Dylan, I wouldn't even want to talk to Stefanski no more. I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna send a lawyer your way so you can fix my draft stock. It said they live by today what they said back then. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. It said because Haslam and Stefanski are white and they say so. It said, yep, that's it. It said Kevin got busted for lying and discriminated. That's it. I said it. Y'all got Attorney Ben Crump out here talking about this situation. This is crazy. I said Stefanski made himself a legal liability. Why he didn't give a damn what Troy Aikman said? Because he wasn't a legal liability yet. But the moment he became one, he began to switch. And now he's frustrated because he don't have the control. See, he managed to intimidate the hell out of that locker room and coerce them and retaliate against them. But see, when lawyers start speaking up, ain't nothing you could do. Ain't nowhere to hide. And you would think Haslam would be like, you know what, I'm finna get rid of you. But that tells you that Haslam was in on this. And he might be himself pivoting and let me show some favoritism towards Shadur. But I left Stefanski in place to get the job done because the agenda is still the agenda. 17-32, playing keep away with franchise QB1 for Shadur, even if it's in Cleveland or if he get traded. Now think about this. If they trying to get Dante Moore, what do they have to do for Dante Moore to be inherent QB1 drafted in the first round in front of franchise Shadur Sanders in Cleveland? You got to make Shadur look bad or you got to hurt him. Ain't a lot of options. Why they don't talk about trading Shadur? Because they got it for $975,000 per year with a little bit more on top each year. And I don't know how the hell they going to get Dante Moore, have Shadur and Deshaun $46 million contract. And they told you Deshaun couldn't be moved. They told you last year we took a big swing and miss with Deshaun. It's funny how they cleaned up their language. They ain't take a big swing and miss with Deshaun this year. Interesting. So let's see if Dan Lanning tried to hang Dante Moore out to slaughter. Black excellence. Yep, we know our worth. Black excellence. That's it. And you're not going to tell people who know their worth. I don't care how many parents they have. I don't care how they grew up. If they know who the hell they are, you can't break them. And you can't break nobody that recognized God pulling them close and they chose to answer. You ain't going to never break that person. Instead, you just going to expose yourself. And Stefanski is busted. He busted for being racist. Talking about he was making football decisions. You weren't making no football decisions. The fact that you use that phrase tells me somebody called you out for making 9 football decisions and you trying to justify it. And now you want to keep undermining your black colleague, Andrew Berry, because it make you feel better that he put on the same level as you, but he went to Harvard. You see how the whole organization is toxic? Leaving Stefanski in place before this game, him not being fired, it's toxic. He's done enough. But now the fire just going to have to consume Haslam because, you know, he want to protect Stefanski. Stefanski's done good work for us. Yet he won 6 games and only has had 2 winning seasons. What the hell kind of work has he done? Destroying black quarterbacks? So you want to leave him there to destroy Dante Moore? Pay attention, people. Pay attention. I like myself better than I love myself. I know that's right. I know that's right. It said in an interview Shadur did today, Shadur kept saying trust, as he always does. It hit me that he was not only talking about teammates, but the entire staff and ownership. I'm listening differently. Right. And that's what you have to do when he's talking. Right. He said trust is really important with me. Why would I trust anybody around here? Except for maybe Harold Fanning Jr. and Quashawn Junkins and a few more others. So like he said, now they're going to put Luke out here. Is Luke on the tape? One of the reasons I actually felt like they moved Luke out the way is because why? He balled out with Shadur. Why they leave Gage out there? Because he ain't balling out. And you see Shadur smart. We cool, but I'm going to get Harold Fanning Jr. that ball because he a dog. Harold Fanning Jr. and Shadur. It's just Shadur with any elite wide receiver from Colorado, whether it's Omarion, Will Shepard, and he hung in there with Will and got it. LaJonte, Jimmy, go back and watch USC versus Colorado. It's a shootout. It's beautiful. Go watch it. And they was just out there balling, even though they held Shadur back. Go watch it. Shadur's a dog, bro. A dog. This game is going to be absolute exciting, thrilling to watch. I'm glad they all have been exposed, especially Stefanski. It said Shadur is showing them on the field with the talent the Lord has blessed him with. Facts. This really needs to be investigated all day. Shannon Sharp was right. Notice how they came for him. I'm like, see, that's the same. Anybody that's coming for Shannon, you better block them because they them ones. They trying to keep the white supremacy going. That's what it is, right? That's all it is. And these people know they being sued for violating black players' civil rights. They don't care. They don't care about none of that. But when the fans come together, because they divided the players that are black, now they mad. Now they mad. See, they don't want to be held accountable. They want to be able to destroy Shadur and every other black quarterback in peace. It said, you are interpreting this Willie Lynch letter perfectly, Nola girl. Is that faithful? Thank you for letting us know about it earlier. Like only a Southerner could. It was written years ago, but the writer was foreshadowing what was then and what was to come. Yep. And if you from the South, I mean, I just feel like you know these things, right? I think you could see how these cities move. Whether you from Jackson, Mississippi, anywhere in Mississippi, the whole state of Louisiana, Georgia, you know, that's why Coach Prime, when he played for Atlanta, he said he never saw anything like Atlanta. That's why Atlanta is a mecca. When you have black people in positions of power with wealth, that's why people for years, decades, have been attracted to this city. And that's why people keep telling you don't come, because they don't want you to succeed. And everybody can't. I'm just going to put it out there. Atlanta's not cheap at all. And they know it. It's like a black Hollywood. It's like a tech area at the same time. You got all kind of diverse people coming in, but the black people do well. It's also a college town with 3 or 4 HBCUs. And then don't forget, 80% of the population lives within 2 hours of Atlanta. So you got all of these 9 HBCUs in Alabama. They come here too. North Carolina, South Carolina. They got their own thing going, but they come here too. Tennessee, Chattanooga, Nashville, they come here too. There's HBCUs surrounding this place. It said Ole Miss previous coach Kiffin tried to speak negatively about Quinshon Judkins when he left for Ole Miss. And then what did they do? Hire him for the tune of how many? $81 million over there where? At LSU. Rest in peace, Kyron Lacey. That's it. Yeah, Kevin got to go. Kevin got to go. Some people say Willie Lynch was real and sent after the New York Slave Rebellion of 1712. Like I said, I ain't going to dispute it or argue with it or not. All I know is every tenet of it, every principle that it speaks to is factual, and I can see it in the NFL. So I don't doubt it at all. I think Judy realizes he made a mistake. I hope he did. But again, I hope so. Because you can't trust nobody just one time. You could be happy and you could hope they consistent. You could hope that they genuine, but you don't know. So, and I told y'all, it's about time we hear about an update on what happened with the robbery. It said, does anyone remember when Michael Vick suggested that Kaepernick cut off his afro? Them folks love a pliable black player. Right. And see, that's the whole thing of it, right? I'm looking for people, like, think about Pat Mahomes before the Super Bowl. He got knocked upside his head, and the first thing he did was go to his black barber and cut his hair. And what did his wife say when they were doing this little game where you're supposed to show how well you know your spouse? He asked her in a question, what's my favorite food? And she said, fried chicken. I'm like, you married to this? Did this what you married? You see what happens when you denounce your blackness? See, other people who know you black, they keep putting it in your face and they use it against you. Think about how crazy Pat Mahomes' hair looked. I said the same thing about Trey Young. Do something with that. So guess what? Pat Mahomes went and got his hair cut, and he looked great, and he looked black. See, all of that hair is either I'm standing in my blackness or I'm trying to hide it. And for those that try to hide it, like Marcus Freeman, they're gonna come get you. And they're gonna use you against every black player, even if they went to Notre Dame, to take them down. Because you chose to be a fool when asked about how you feel about being a black man and the natty, this, that, and the other, in front of your black players and denounce your blackness. No coincidence they want to get him. I told you, there's a way that some of these players let these people know they can be used. Pick me's. That's what it is, guys. That's just what it is. It said they probably run their facility like a prison. I watch the players. They act like they're afraid to be themselves. Of course they are. Of course they are. I mean, of course they are. It said like Miles. I think he's controlled. Yep, by his contract. If he really wanted to turn up in that locker room, They couldn't handle that. Right. So what do? When Myles Garrett, y'all heard Myles Garrett when he was Shadur was mic'd up. We gonna need you. The next thing you know, we had to hear about 8 speeding tickets. Mary Cabot talking about he reckless. I went in on her. I said he wasn't being reckless. He avoided to hit a damn deer. And why you didn't say that? Because I know you know. And why you didn't tell us about these 7 speeding tickets? But when he want to speak out for Shadur, we got to hear about his 8. And why is it only Shadur and Myles Garrett got speeding tickets? Why we don't know about nobody else? This is how they were trying to control Shadur with the media, caving in on him, talking about his speeding tickets. They talked about the speeding tickets more than the records that he broke because they were trying to break him because he didn't come from instability. And he refuses to walk away from who he is. And no, he's not changing his hair, and nor should he. They okay with Jordan Love's hair. So why the hell should Shadur change his damn hair? They got the same hairstyle, stitch braids. So anybody that wants to change it, shut the hell up. And let these young men who walking through the fire, who should have been told about these damn landmines, let them be themselves because they made it this damn far. Yeah, they trying to control him. And then the O-line gonna be right there because who trade for people like that? Facts. And then they want to talk about they have an aging O-line. Well, why you ain't getting no new people? You had 10 draft picks last year. Can't be bought or sold. Right. Integrity. That's it. They just upset that he has integrity. That's probably why they had him robbed. That's why people said immediately when this happened, oh, they did that. Looking for something on him. Again, how many people knew that Bucky wasn't going to be there? That's where it starts. That's where it starts. When Myles wanted to leave, they immediately gave him a new contract. It's controlling. Right. And people said Myles Garrett can't complain because they offered him money to stay. I said they offered him more than money. They told him they was going to do this. They told him they was going to do that. And they playing in his face. And when you saw this game where they hyped him up all week, but held him back, you saw the look on his face like, oh, okay, y'all want to play. Oh, all right. So when he went to that podium, what did he say? It ain't on us, the players. It's not. And somebody else said, you can't blame the players. Matter of fact, they interviewed a guy in Cleveland who was frustrated. He said it don't even matter if Dillon was the quarterback. They weren't going to win because it's the coaching. It's not the players. I don't agree with that. But the point is, people are starting to say it's the players. So when, the coaches. So when people, and the crazy part is the defensive coordinator, they talking about should he be the next head coach? If he agreed with Kevin Stefanski to hold back his defense, so Brock Purdy and Cam Ward can look better than Shadur, and that the Browns should lose, they need to fire everybody. This is one of those franchises, you revoke the charter. It's too toxic. It's the liability. It's rife with racism. Like Brian Flores said, it's a whole liability, the whole damn franchise. They got a young woman running around there telling Shadur why he off the clock. Oh, there you go. You know, I got to keep you out of trouble. So we harassing Shadur off the clock? Is it a wonder he got robbed off the clock if they got somebody following him off the clock? Really? Congressional hearing, DOJ, shit. Some people like, where the FBI at? Why they not doing nothing? That's why they're not scared. But they scared of the fans. The fans are speaking. Why they like boys from the hood that have nothing so they can run the plantation, right? And when those boys from the hood leave, they normally broke. Another player got arrested. Daniel Oyefuse, I think, or somebody else reported that they picked up some player and the police detained him. I'm like, first thing I thought was he probably got CTE. He probably has CTE, and the NFL ain't gonna say nothing about it. And that's just what it is. Somebody said this. I like this response. It says Shadur Sanders is bigger than the program at this point. The Browns market is just too small to handle him. It said the media heads don't even understand what they have in Shadur as a quarterback. If this were Dallas and they were without a quarterback, and they drafted Shadur, the Cowboys would be the world's team. That's the truest thing. I'm gonna let y'all see that. This is true. Basically, they saying the Cleveland Browns can't even appreciate a franchise QB like this. See, some people say it's because they used to losing. No, they intentionally created a toxic culture that had nothing to do with football and everything to do with controlling black bodies like they were inmates in a prison or dumber than their white counterparts. And if they're not from broken homes and have a troubled past, I have no use for you. That's why they think they're prisoners. That's exactly why they think that. It's disgusting. So this is one of the best statements. I agree with it 99% of the way. It says Shadur is bigger than the program at this point. He is bigger than the program. He also bigger than the NFL. He's a cultural icon, just like who? Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Allen Iverson. Who else? Muhammad Ali. Shadur has fans globally, right? Because he's good. It said the Browns market is just too small to handle him. Now, here's the thing. I don't agree with that. The Browns market doesn't want Shadur there because they don't want to be held accountable. They're comfortable with the status quo. They're comfortable with controlling the black bodies. They're comfortable with putting their thumb on the black players, even the leaders like Myles Garrett, neck, and holding them down. They're comfortable knowing that the franchise is ripe with corruption to subdue the black players, that they can take all of this black talent and they can make it do what it make it do. That they have control. That's all they care about. So it's not that they can't handle it. They don't want it. It said these media heads don't even understand what they have right now. They must not be football people because everybody knows that Shadur Sanders is him. They don't want Shadur Sanders to be him because like the owner of the team and Kevin Stefanski, I want a white quarterback to celebrate with, which is why they dumb butts was out there with signs that say Mendoza. And their own fans was fighting and pushing back saying this was what's wrong with this fan base. Y'all don't even know if Mendoza don't work out. And you want to get rid of Shadur that is proven. Exactly. Isn't that what Stefanski did? Shadur was proven and he went and got undrafted free agent Dylan and tried to convince everybody that Dylan was the guy. People don't want to accept the fact that the Browns don't want to win with a black franchise long-term quarterback, but that the Browns went and got a long-term franchise quarterback in Shadur and changed their mind 2 weeks before the damn draft after everybody else already had their quarterback. People don't want to admit that the Browns are corrupt, that Stefanski's behavior is racist, clan level racist. He's not in a tight spot. He doesn't deserve any sympathy. He chose to be racist. He made that bed. Let him lie in it. Let him understand how expensive racism is. The goal is one day, hopefully, he will no longer be racist, but I ain't going to hold my breath. He fighting to be racist. Who the hell does that? He's an embarrassment to his whole damn family. His wife, his kids, his mama, whose name is Karen, and his daddy. But where y'all think he got it from? Kevin Stefanski just wants to be greater than the black excellence in the room, including Andrew Berry, who went to Harvard. So to hell with him. Feel sorry for him. He made a choice. You make a choice to be racist, you're going to find out how expensive it is and how much you bring in this nastiness on your family's name. They should have taught you better. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing, D. Johnson? Welcome back. Welcome back. Mm-hmm. And say Travis hit them with the Uno reverse. I know that's right. Shout out to Travis Hunter. Shout out to Travis Hunter. Because he showed it. He showed it. He let them know Uno reverse. He did. He really did. Travis won. I don't care what y'all say. He won. He did. because he got paid. And he knew exactly what to do when somebody told him what to do, and he did it. And those people thought that he was submissive. Yeah, that's what they thought. Because once again, instability didn't come from a two-parent family. What led in his mom's garage, so they just knew. They just knew they could get him, give him Shadur's money. Shadur get his jersey number, take Travis, and make him the face of the league. Is Travis the face of the league? They underutilized him intentionally and asked for his money. Retaliation is there. It don't matter the franchise. That's the culture. And that's why the commissioner needs to go. That's it. They thought, yep, Travis pulled that Uno reverse. I'm proud of Travis. 240 people hit the like button. I'm proud of Travis. I sure am. Shadur is dark skinned. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Willie Lynch in 2025. That's just what it is. Willie Lynch in 2025. That's what it is. Somebody said, let me know if y'all can hear me. Somebody said, I read the Willie Lynch letter in a book in the 80s. It said during this age of Aquarius and during Trump presidency, a lot of our people are waking up and seeing what's behind the Iron Curtain. I guess so. I kind of really thought that a lot of people knew. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Maybe y'all can't hear me. You know, it's getting a little weird around here. Hold on one second. Thank you. So, hold on. Let me see what the problem could be. When I drop my I don't know. Growing pains. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. That's okay. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm scrolling to the bottom to see if y'all can hear me. I'm still scrolling to the bottom to see if y'all can hear me. Everybody got fired but Kevin. Facts. Can y'all hear me? It's a lot of us in here tonight. I'm still scrolling to the bottom. That's just what it is, guys. Hold on one second. Can y'all hear me? Yes. Can y'all hear me? You can hear me. CP really enjoyed himself at the game. Facts. Proud parents. So happy for the Sanders family. Facts. You can tell they're walking on pins and needles in the Browns. It said whatever Bucky is on the sideline, I always look at the players and the staff, the body language, and the facial expression. Not cohesive at all. Now think about what Tina just said. Can y'all hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. 244 people. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Yes. Okay, y'all can hear me. Excellent. So the comment on the screen by Tina refers to how people act with Bucky around. What did I say? Hopefully I wasn't muted. What did I say? What did I say? Only a few people knew Bucky was not going to be there. And Shadur got robbed. I think I remember Bucky saying after that happened, remember he went to Cleveland and he said, yeah, my dad wanted me here. Maybe Coach Prime realized too that when Bucky wasn't there, they took advantage of the opportunity while Big Bro was not there to rob Shadur. I said it. If you look at the video, and maybe it's been changed now. I haven't looked at it lately. But when you looked at the video after it happened, the most watched part was Bucky's face, Florida's face, Shadur when he was on the phone talking to Jordan C, saying I got people everywhere. And who knew Bucky wouldn't be there? It's not a coincidence. If I'm an average robber off the street and I saw that video and I'm looking at Bucky's face trying to figure out who he is, who Florida is, how the hell would I know he not in town this week? I would not. There's no way I could know that. I would have to know somebody that knew Bucky's schedule, and that's Shadur or the Browns. Nobody else. Nobody else. What, the airlines? You think every airline gonna sync up and say Bucky not flying this week? No. Only a few people had limited knowledge that Bucky wasn't coming. And honestly, with the way Shadur doesn't say things, like his family didn't know why it is he wasn't trying to get 500 touchdowns or 500 yards or make touchdowns. He just wanted to win. They didn't even know what was happening. So I don't see Shadur just broadcasting Bucky ain't gonna be here this week. I remember us talking about this. We thought Bucky was there, but somebody knew Bucky was not there. And who would that be other than the people that scheduled Bucky to film? Who else? The house manager, maybe? Who else? Only a small group of people knew Bucky's schedule. And if you start looking there, you're going to find out who orchestrated that inside job. And they should already know by now. Between contact tracing, pinging, geofencing, you should know. Shadur walking around with bodyguards like Floyd and his daddy Prime. Right, because why? Somebody robbed him. And the message is, y'all ain't gonna get him next time. You're gonna be met with something. That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, they're not gonna catch Shadur slipping, because that's the message. That's the message when Coach Prime had all those bodyguards, right? That's the message. Shadur's protection from evil is a direct, deep, personal, and phenomenal relationship. That's facts. Amen. 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 That's facts, y'all. That's really it, right? Shadur is protected, right? And the people that didn't believe the protection that he had felt like because they didn't see him physically protected, they didn't believe the spiritual. And Stefanski still don't, because he's still over there plotting. All you got to do is look at the game plan. It's his idea. Look at the plays they call. Is he still restricted him? Is he going to be able to throw the ball 45 times? Are you going to hold him back in the first half? Just like in the USC game. I have long maintained that what happened in year one and what happened with Pat Schumer before Pat Schumer got there is the same. And I believe it's because what? All of these people know each other. And the agenda is still the agenda, whether it's college football or whether it's NFL football with blacks in leadership at the utmost highest positions of power and influence and decision making. They don't want Coach Prime. I don't think they want Coach Prime in Colorado. I don't. So I asked in a poll, should he be the Browns' next head coach? And people said now. I said, okay. I said, yeah. Because obviously Colorado got an agenda. The message of the robbery is that we can reach out and touch. It's psychological warfare, right? And cleaning out the contents of my nightstand is also psychological warfare. To make you nervous because you probably don't remember what's in there, and we got you. Who got placed in timeout? I didn't place nobody in timeout. I'm like, hell, I didn't even know I was muted. So I didn't place nobody in timeout. And I can see your comment, so I doubt that you're in timeout. Yep, no, we don't know who did it. Some people think the Browns did it, Pamela, because they knew Bucky's schedule because he didn't film that week. Black culture is one of the most valuable, and copied, in the world. That's facts. Shadur remained in his home saying, try it again if you want to. Right. And they might be trying to lure him back there to catch him because it happened. Because they dumb. They're probably at the game with the clothes on. He said, I thought Prime was going to old Dimmer window. Why you thought that? Oh, you talking about doing a game? Oh, that was funny, yeah. Oh, thank you, boo. So, that's what it is, guys. Shadur's preparing for the game. Go look at Colorado versus USC. Let me see if I can put the link into the chat. I was looking at Caleb. He didn't say much. He was just like, it wasn't no big deal to him, right? He didn't let on or any kind of thing. It's not like he knew Shadur like Cam knew Shadur. And I think a lot of people bought into the Titans versus the Browns because Shadur number 1, Cam number 2, that kind of thing. Whereas a lot of people don't know that Caleb played Shadur at Colorado. But that was a good game. That was a good game. And in that game, Shadur was held back. And that's how they lost. And that's exactly what happened in the Titans game. It's not a coincidence. Because you're calling a game plan that minimizes Shadur's ability to ball out in the beginning. And you let the other team get up by a score or 2. Pat Schumer did this the whole damn season. And then you let the team go. But it's too late by then. So that's likely what it's going to be. I'm getting ready to put the link in the chat to the game from 2023 so y'all can go look at it because it's a precursor as to what's to come because that was a darn good game. Yeah, I'm going to put the highlights in there, y'all, so y'all can look at them. We're going to get ourselves out of here. All right, so in the chat, guys, I am putting the link to USC Trojans versus Colorado Buffaloes 2023. Essentially, a precursor to the preview of the game we get ready to watch, Bears versus Browns, with the franchise quarterback at the helm. So I just hit send so y'all can copy and paste it or click on it and head over there. I'm getting ready to wrap up over here. 264 of us hit the like button on the way out. I think I got everybody. I was just going through everybody's comments. Ohio is the Mississippi of the Midwest. Well, that says a lot. Now, I understand. They just flipped Mississippi blue. So things change. But thank you for that, Bridget. That's awareness there. D. Harrison, your facts. Your facts on that. Who do you think is invisible, Paula? Let me know who you're talking about. All of this is crazy. Why would they follow around a 5th round pick? Right. Because he's Shadur. And you notice they want to know what he's talking about with everybody. Maybe they broke into his house because they want to know what he's been talking about. Because he can't talk to Jalen Hurts. He can't talk to Cam without them wanting to know. Like, that's just crazy. One thing about it, Shadur has handled all of this in a way that we all can learn from it, right? When you in these situations, you know what somebody said? What's going on with Shadur Sanders is going on in corporate America. And his story and the way he handled it gives people hope that maybe they'll make it to the other side. Because racism in corporate America can be really tough. It can be really tough on you because it's your livelihood. You're stressing out. You think you're going to lose everything. You're trying to go to work and maintain, but you keep getting abused. It's the same thing with Shadur, right? And like he said, thankfully, they took the money, but he said, I come from a good family. And he does. And then they took Shiloh's livelihood, and he over there excelling in content creation, so much so that Shiloh said, I like the content creation. He actually likes the content creation part. I do still have video from his house. We'll look at it tomorrow during the day. Because he putting his clip out there. Shiloh doing his thing. And I like Darius filming with him because Darius is a good interviewer. So hopefully they do some more content together. But mark your calendar, save the date. The watch party is already scheduled. The notification went out. Go ahead and click the notify me button so when I go live, you'll get it. And then I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bridget says she didn't like Schwartz when he was in Detroit. The sports arena is the new civil rights battleground. Yeah, I agree with that. I would agree with that. Sell the team. I think there should be a new owner. Jerry is sleeping in the Django. Well, he was on that. Yep. You can't trust it. Right. Just because you see one display of something, that's not how trust works. You have to see a genuine, consistent display over time. And that's what Shadur keeps saying. Trust takes time. We're not about to micro this thing, right? Trust takes time. So expecting him to trust Jerry Judy blindly, he ain't gonna do that. Nobody would. And it's on the Jerry Judy to make things right. It's on Jerry Judy to gain anybody's trust, not just Shadur, but you had teammates that you set up to fail. Yeah, every time they try to take down black quarterbacks, they diminishing all of these other athletes' hard work. That's why the defense is so frustrated. They're like, finally, we get a quarterback on offense that could do something, and y'all tripping. And now you want to hold us back too. So Shadur got to defeat the whole damn Browns organization, minus Andrew Berry, and then go out here and play the opponent and make decisions in 3 seconds flat. Shout out to Shadur. So we got out of here, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, Stefanski wants out. Bye. Like people say, take Dylan and his little crazy girlfriend with you. Take her with you. If they still together. Because she basically told everybody what they was talking about behind closed doors. That's really what she did. So that's on Dylan if he want to do that. I told y'all, Leanna Hunter was posting that she either got or is getting baptized just like Travis. So let's cheer them on for growing together as a family and pray for all of the blessings, for them to walk toward that together. And that's actually good for them to be so young and take that type of initiative at such a young age. That means that they have a desire to grow together as a family with their baby, right? So I think that's pretty good. All right, y'all, we out. 233 of us still left. Hit the like button, everybody. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. I'll see y'all tomorrow.